new year. 2020, here we are. And today we're going to go right at a detox. There was something that triggered me this morning, and this is where we're at. It's a departure from our normal motivational, if you will, just kind of inspirational and insightful podcast in the aspects of, at this time of year, everybody is looking at one of two things. That they had some holidays that were a little rough on them and they need to make a change, whether it's weight loss or anything like that. But detoxes keep popping up. People talk about detoxes quite often. And they will do things that literally jack their entire body up. And this is why I wanted to address this today in the aspects of understanding if you need a detoxification, understanding why you might need a detox, and then some of the things that you can do to actually help your body through this process. Too often people jump into just these, multi-level businesses, and all these multi-level businesses are there to sell a widget. I know this is controversial, but you need to hear it. But all these multi-level businesses are there to sell a widget. It doesn't matter so much. Now, you could say, well, mine is a lot better. Mine actually cares about people. That's fine. It doesn't mean that they necessarily have a bad product, but they are more focused on moving the product than they are the people. And that's often the case. It's not good or bad. It just is what it is. It's a business. I do something, I won't say similar, but in my business we move product, but I also stand behind our product. We have good product, some of the best that I can find. And so there is a business side to what I do. There's a business side to me talking to you at this point. But what supersedes the business is the knowledge of why you need to do what you do, why you need to actually have a detox or not have a detox. And this is what's missing in the day and age where multi-levels are able to get people in places to be able to move product and not have a reason why. So bottom line, this long introduction for me has come to a point of I see a lot of people like, oh, here's this detox. It's one of the best things that you can do, but not knowing why, not knowing how it works or if it works, or even if somebody would need one, or even worse yet, if somebody goes on to that and has a bad reaction, what actually potentially that could mean. So let's take a quick look. Basically, you can bottle up some symptoms of needing a detoxification in a variety of different things. I think one of the key indicators is fatigue is a huge one. Joint pain, fatigue, like abnormal joint pain. If somebody's got arthritis, it's a whole different gig. If somebody's got, they've abused their body for years, and the knee and the shoulder, but multiple joint pain. So it's not just right knee, left knee. It's like knees, shoulders, elbows. What we call polyarthralgia is just joint pain all over the place. Also, the body is showing other signs of detoxification. There's different smells that the body releases. Maybe you're sweating and it's like, whoa, that's different. Oftentimes the eyes will actually bleed. You get kind of crusty eyes every morning. Not like pink eye, but crusty eyes on just like your body is like literally sweating out while you sleep. Sleep disturbances is another a big one. Mood swings is huge in understanding detoxification, or the necessity of a detox. The list goes on, and I can share more for you, but it's identifying, like, do I have the symptoms that would necessitate a detoxification, or am I just talking about I want to make a lifestyle change, I want to lose a few pounds, and go that direction. And see, in its nature, actually, weight loss itself is a detoxification. So what happens, an understanding of how toxins build up in our body, is this concept of chemistry and how chemicals can come into our body. So everything that in our world that we actually use has a potential for exposing us to toxins, from cleaning products to hair care products. Like, I use them. Anybody that's never met me, I don't have any hair. I have hair, but it's just not in the right places. But hair care products, makeup, soaps, and then the foods that we eat. And then also the pesticides and other things that we use around our yards or don't use around our yards. But all these types of things collide to the body getting toxic. We're exposed environmentally, exposed at work. We're definitely in a community that has chemicals here and there. And so we're all exposed to it. All right, we're exposed to it in the jet stream. We know that actually stuff flies over and is rained down from different countries, different cities. The way we cultivate our foods are not at the highest levels of purity unless you're eating 100% pure organic, certified GMO-free, pesticide-free, chemical-free, which is very rare to find. Unless you're growing your own stuff. So here you have this barrage of chemicals that the body can absorb. And it's usually easily to process on a day-to-day basis. But if there is chronic exposure, or if the body is out of balance and the liver's not working the way it should, or can't keep up with it, you build some toxicity. So what the body does is actually walls it off in your fat stores. It walls it off in the fat stores in the aspect of protecting your body. It doesn't want it in the bloodstream. Doesn't sometimes want it in the muscle tissue, so it's going to put it in the fat stores. If you're overloaded, what does it do? It starts to show up in joints. It starts to show up in muscle tissue. You are fatigued. You have joint pain. You have all this stuff going on. You have mental fog. You can't think straight. It's just in your bloodstream. These are great signs that the body may need a detox. And I have some questionnaires if you ever want to go that far. I have some questionnaires that we can walk you through so you can have an idea. But in the form of detoxification, the body is going to be showing some signs of overload. And so if you are overloaded and then you're like, hey, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me, then a detoxification is in order. However, oftentimes I've seen people go through these quick flash-in-the-pan detoxes that just literally, excuse my language, fuck the body up. And you got to consider that toxins in the body destroy cells. There was a gentleman by the name of Russell Blaylock that used to actually talk about like a cell as a piece of tissue paper. And if you can imagine what a toxin can do to that, is like a hot poker going through that tissue paper, just sears it from the inside out, and it's gone. And so you need to protect yourself. You need to feed yourself and do a detoxification at the same time. And too often people starve themselves. They go into this, okay, I'm just going to do, and you've probably done it or heard about it, the cayenne pepper. So it's just water, cayenne pepper, and honey. I mean, that's like all the body goes through. And so, yeah, that's going to cause a detoxification. We're going to explain the phases of detoxification here in just a second. So if you're still with me at this point, we're going to actually walk you through those phases, talk about what your body will be going through, and then how to actually support that. So at this point, you should be able to say, hey, yes, I am understanding this, the symptoms of my body and what I'm going through, and yes, I want a detoxification. If not, you can probably turn it off right now and go do some modifications of your lifestyle. Maybe just cut back on a little bit of the sugars, cut back on some of the alcohol, maximize your proteins, maximize your fats, and away you go, and you make some lifestyle changes. But if you're, like I said, here this far, you're saying, hey, this resonates with me, and I need to maybe potentially look at this as a detoxification process that might fit. Okay, so boom, we move into the process of, like, what do we do? Well, understanding how the body works would be step one. And there's usually 3 phases of detoxification. They used to think that there was only these. Let me walk through it for you real quick, and we'll show you, because there's a new phase that they've been talking about that we didn't really know about, and now we do. So step 1 is basically providing an environment where your body is safe enough, providing and kicking the system into a point where we start to bring in the toxins out of the fat cells, out of the muscle tissue if it's gotten that bad. And there's a process of doing that. Basically, you go low on calories, and the body starts to bring or open up the fat stores. So you start burning fats, and in that burning fat process, you're bringing out a lot of the chemistry that's in there. You got to realize every pharmaceutical that you've taken, this is a great point, every pharmaceutical that you have taken, consumed in your life, has a half-life. And so the body takes it in. Even ibuprofen, it's like, shit, this is toxic. We got to get rid of it. And then your body releases it slowly over time. You heard time release and all these types of things. How the body works. So what you're doing is doing a caloric shift and allowing the body to actually open up the doors and the capacity to do this. Now, if you are not feeding the body during this process, meaning you don't have calories, your liver's like, I can't do all this. I'm starving here. I'm starving. And so you need to feed the body during this process. And I'll walk through how, but understanding this process is paramount for you walking through this. So step 1 is to bring it into the bloodstream. The liver then starts to go to work. The liver starts binding those toxins to be able to excrete it, get it out through your, a couple different ways, but getting it out through your bowels. Sometimes your kidneys are going to filtrate. And then there's the third process that I talked about, which is actually through the respiratory system. So we actually thought there was only like phase 1, bring toxins in, bind it, get it out. But now we know that some of the excretory process is not only just through the bowels, but through your lungs. So it's good to exercise during this process. It's actually good to sweat during this process. And get it out through your skin as well. So there are a variety of things that you can add to this that'll help this. One of two things, and if you walk me through, I'll walk you through a process. We have and use a company called Metagenics. They have all of their medical foods do a version of a detox, but we target different aspects of a detox. Is somebody a little bit more heavy metal toxic, or somebody have different chemical exposure because of their job or what have you, and the body is going to manifest in different ways, and so we target these things, and we have different medical foods for different situations. Some people are estrogen toxic. All right, estrogen-fed breast cancer is another aspect of that. So we look at estrogen detoxification along with normal detoxification. And so we feed with medical food. It's got a multivitamin. It's got a small amount of protein in it, and it is directly targeted on this. And that shifts the body quickly into this detoxification process. And then we feed the body with alternating vegetables, because vegetables help buffer the system. You could do a green drink, that's fine, but you're not getting all the components in a green drink that you would in a vegetable. And so we recommend 2 to 4 cups of a certain green, or what we call cruciferous green leafy vegetable. Like cauliflower is a green leafy vegetable because it's got a green leaf. And so there's this component. I'm doing a crash course for you here, but this is a component of helping buffer the system. We also use a product called Advoclear, because about day 2, you're going to have like the massive headache, massive fatigue, because your body's just pouring all these toxins in and starting to get rid of it. There are some evidence to suggest that the coffee enemas make the liver kind of purge, almost like throw up and get through this toxification process there. But then you got to look at hydration as well. Okay, so with medical foods, one, to start the process, Advoclear to help the body and the liver support itself. And then my key of all this, the solution to pollution is dilution. The solution to pollution is dilution. All right, that's chemistry right there. That's chemistry. So you better be consuming half your body weight in ounces to be able to help your body buffer this system, and it helps with the detoxification process as well. I recommend, depending on how bad the body is, anywhere from 3 to 7 days worth of a detox. I think anything more, the body can get into some really kind of delicate stages where it needs a lot more support and needs a lot more look. But if you are just going off the cuff and doing a detoxification, I want you to consider that you might actually seek some counsel in that, and not just even going off of what I have told you here today, but seek some counsel on it and get some help, because you can literally destroy certain aspects of your body. You can destroy and cause a catastrophic event, literally a health crisis, where you could get extremely ill if you're not supporting yourself the right way, or doing the right things with it. Okay, and so, like I said, we walk people through this, and there's angles that we actually will take on these that help the body support itself, whether it's some nutrition, some supplements that help buffer, help put the body back on track as people go through these symptoms. And then the last part of this is the exercise and even sweating it out a little bit. There are actually some new studies on near infrared, where you don't have to sweat. You can get some red light or near infrared, where you're not like the red saunas or things like that, where you don't have to sweat, and has some incredible, they call it photo biomodulation, where the body actually just increases metabolic rate. And so that's good. But hot saunas are good too, because you get a sweat. But what about getting outside and just making your body move? Or inside, making your body move? And sweating out, meaning your skin is a huge organ that can sweat out a lot of these toxins as well. Okay, so here is the new year. Here is a detox plan, but it needed to be covered. needed to be covered because too many people can actually jack themselves up this time of year by not knowing what the whole process is about, not knowing what they should be doing to support their body through this, but actually just targeting it from like, well, I can do it because I'll get points in my multi-level business, or I'll do it because I want to lose weight. Two things that you need to check at the door and actually look at it as a process to gain more health. And a byproduct of that is what? A healthier body, less joint pain, less fatigue, better sleep. And yes, oftentimes there is some weight loss to go with it. All right, my job this year in Love and Light is to share the truths that I know, share the truths on what is and be able to learn you guys up. Hope this journey will be fun this year for you. Hope you'll learn a lot. We're going to actually mix it up with a variety of things from detoxification today to inspiration, motivational, and even spiritual aspects of stuff as we cross your body, your being, your connections with God, your balance, things that you do with your family, your kids, little tips and tricks along the way, and even in your bank account, how you're showing up at work or your business. This is going to be Survive or Thrive this year. Welcome to 2020. Welcome, I'll talk to you next time.